Hey y'all, welcome to the Wild Garden Farms kitchen. Today and really for the rest of December, we are going to be making herbal gifts. So 'tis the season for gift giving and people love getting handmade, homemade herbal gifts. So today we are going to make herbal fire starters. These are so fun. You can use ingredients that you can forage outside, that you can find in your cabinet, and it's pretty quick and simple. So here we go. Step one is to melt the wax. So I'm using Freedom soy wax. You can also use beeswax. I like this company, America Made. We're gonna do about a third a cup of wax in each fire starter. So I'm gonna put a cup in here, maybe a little bit more than a cup. So a cup of wax in there. I've got my double boiler going here. It's one of the most important herb tools that you can get is a double boiler. And now, large baking cups. So I'm just gonna set them down in here. 1, 2, and 3. And then I have ingredients here, again, from my pantry or from my apothecary or that I've gathered outside. So I have some cinnamon sticks chopped in half, some juniper berries. I have some pine needles that are finely chopped. I've got clove and white sage and a pine cone, some pine cone, what are those called? Pine cone, not needles, pieces of pine cone, and then some cedar shavings here. When my husband was cutting some cedar boards, I asked him to put a blanket underneath, and as he was cutting, I collected the shavings, and there is so much you can do with that. And then some cardamom and some like pumpkin pie spice. Think fall, winter spices that you have in your cabinet. You could use black peppercorns. All of these are going to be great for your immune system, help to cleanse and clear the air as well. So when you burn these, you're not only starting a fire, but you're getting that cleansing effect in the air as well. All right, so this is melting. The first thing we're gonna do, have some twine here. You just wanna make sure that it burns, that it stays lit ahead of time. This is just, regular twine. So cutting off about that much. And the junior apprentices were showing me this earlier, which is such a good idea. What I did was I got a little melted wax and put it just in the center of each baking cup. So 1, 2, 3, just a little dab. Okay, and you want to be careful because the wax gets everywhere and then it hardens and it's a little tough to scrape up, but that's all right. And then I'm going to set each wick using chopsticks. These guys are so smart. Down, and so I'm going to set the wick down in the wax and use the chopstick to hold the wick up. Super smart. All right, so I'm gonna do that and we'll get the second one. And it doesn't matter if it's not perfectly in the middle, that's okay. So we'll get that one in. And we're gonna pour wax over the top and cover them all. So this is really just to kind of, get it in the middle there. All right, so I have my wick standing straight up. The next step is to go ahead with the powders. So this is the pumpkin pie spice, just gonna, you have to move around the wicks just a little bit, and it's all right if it gets on top of your chopsticks or touches your wick. It's just more flame. This is some cardamom. So we want, again, to have a nice sensual experience. So activating our senses, we're gonna watch it burn, we're gonna smell it, and it's also gonna be great for our immune system. You could use cloves, anise powder, and then I'm gonna take some whole cloves and sprinkle just a couple in there. Maybe like 3 or 4 in each one. This is, again, something that's really fabulous to burn. That will smell so good. some of this white sage, or you can use garden sage as well. And we know about burning sage, how good and cleansing it is. So put a little bit of that in there. I'm gonna put about 4 juniper berries in each one. And then I'm gonna get some pine needles in here. And it does not matter how you organize or arrange these in your little cups. They're gonna look really pretty, and it is just such a fabulous present. Now, some little pieces of pine cones. I'm sure there's a name for each of these. So I'm gonna put about 5 or 6 down in there. Ooh, I forgot the cedar shavings. This is the most glorious smell when it is burned. So kind of got like the pine on one side. I'll show you a close-up in a second. I'm missing the cinnamon sticks. This is kind of fun, and when they catch fire, they and it releases that incredible scent of cinnamon that is so good for our bodies and so reminiscent of the holidays. Putting 2 in each. I think that's good. The last step is just to fill. It is 1/3 of a cup of wax, of melted wax, with each one. So again, with the double boiler, you're gonna wanna make sure to wipe off the bottom so none of that water gets in. Ooh, that's hot. Okay, and then you're just gonna pour. So 1/3 of a cup and just get it in. You can get it in around chopsticks. And it's nice to have some stuff kind of sticking out of the top so people can see that it's natural, it's herby, it's seasoned. And if you happen to get some wax on your chopsticks, that's okay too. You can just wipe it off with a paper towel. And filling this up. Okay. Now, I don't worry too much about my double boiler because I only use this one for herbs. If you only have one and you're gonna use it for cooking, I would recommend immediately wiping it out with a paper towel and your measuring cup as well. I have a bunch of herbal measuring cups that I just don't use. I just use the ones for cooking. Why do I not get out my herbal measuring cups? So you're just gonna let these sit for maybe about 20 minutes, depending on how cool it is. If you need them to harden quickly, you can just stick the tray in the freezer. So I'll be back to show you what these beauties look like. All right, so it's been about half an hour and everything is looking cooled and hardened. So I'm gonna show you how gorgeous this is. So pull out each fire starter. First of all, see how nice that looks? And then gently peel away the baking cups. Okay. And look at that. You can see some of the powder in there. It smells divine. And if you want to cut the wick a little bit, just chop it down a little bit, feel free to do so. And what a perfect gift, you guys. So take them all out. I would be careful pulling it up by the wicks, but so you can see the cedar in there, you can see the cinnamon sticks, you can see the pine cones and the pine needles sticking up. So to start a fire with these, it's pretty simple. You put it in the fireplace or in your fire pit. Make sure it's, somewhere legit that is safe to start a fire. And you're gonna wanna put this in the bottom. And you're going to want to cover the top with some kindling. So some of the smaller sticks and branches and leaves, maybe a little bit of paper, cardboard to get it going. And then it really just helps to kickstart the fire, to light the kindling, and then you can put the bigger logs on top. So, this is my favorite one, I think. How beautiful is that? So this is a really fun gift, and you can talk about, when you give it to the people, talk about the benefits of the cinnamon, the benefits of the cedar, and how the sage cleanses the air when it is burnt, and how the cinnamon is good. It's a great antiviral and antibiotic. And talk about how the shavings and the bark and the needles are all really good for this time of year, great for our bodies. And these herbs and spices and berries really help to purify the air and to purify our bodies as well. So this is a treat with many, many, many benefits. People love homemade gifts. They love anything herbal. So have fun and play with these. Let me know in the comments below what you use in yours and if there's any different herbs or spices or leaves or berries that you add to it. And have fun.